What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Humphrey Yang and I make videos here on YouTube on personal finance and investing. Today I have a somewhat slightly different topic that we're actually going to go over, and it's actually on the topic of having a mindset of an owner. I like to call this owner's mindset, and if you have this type of mindset, it's really going to empower you at work and help you get ahead. And the reason I made this video is because I've been getting a lot of DMs recently asking me, hey Humphrey, how do I get ahead at work? And I can say that if you're motivated enough to actually ask yourself, how do I get ahead at work? Then I think you're in the right place. And having this mindset is really gonna help you think outside of the box and hopefully get that pay raise or promotion. So today we're talking about what owner's mindset is, how you're able to acquire owner's mindset. And I'm gonna give you some real life examples from my life, and then hopefully you'll be able to apply these examples to your own life and acquire some of this owner's mindset. So number one, what is owner's mindset? Let's talk about that. It's basically approaching your job like a business owner. And so by thinking like a business owner, you're gonna understand your role a lot better in terms of how it fits into the overall organization as a whole. And by having owner's mindset, you're basically gonna be able to reverse engineer your way into a promotion and actually to stand out from all your other peers. Let me give an example of how you can use owner's mindset to basically transform what seems like a normal role into something completely different and actually empower you to do more. Let's say you're a customer support representative at, I don't know, like a mid-sized company selling mattresses, for example. There are two ways I think that people are going to look at this role. Let's say your objective as a customer support representative is to answer between 40 and 50 customer requests or tickets per day. One way to look at this role is that's simply what the role is. You just come in, you answer 40 to 50 tickets, then you leave. The other way to look at this role, though, is something much more important that's going to actually be vital to the company's success. I would argue that a customer support representative is way more than just answering tickets every day. As a customer support representative, you have a pulse of what's going on exactly with the customers on a day-to-day basis. And that information is going to be super valuable to anybody that's working at that company. So for example, in my opinion, the customer support representative in this case has three main responsibilities to the company. The first is to identify trends within the customers. The second is to do live reporting or live alerts on exactly what's going on within customers on a day-to-day basis. And the third is to keep customers happy. Let's say you're working in this role and you're trying to focus on number one, which is identifying trends within customers. What you could do is actually come up with an email of the week identifying the top 5 trends and forward this to your manager, who will hopefully forward it to even higher ups in the company. Think about it this way. Do you think that the higher ups have the time to actually look into each and every customer request? Probably not. But all of a sudden, if they're getting a top 5 trends of the week report from yours truly, you, what you're gonna be able to do is stand out from all the other customer support representatives in your company. And having customer feedback is so crucial to actually running a business. It's the difference between having a good product and having a pretty mediocre product, in my opinion. For responsibility number 2, live alerts of actually what's going on with day-to-day customers is actually going to be very important to running a business. Let's say you work for a mattress company and all of a sudden a lot of customers are writing in about a certain model of the mattress that actually might have a problem with it. By being the first line of defense and actually replying to these emails, you're actually going to understand that, okay, maybe this is a bigger problem that you should probably raise a flag for. And by doing so, you're the first line of defense, so you're essentially raising the flag earlier than anybody else. And then what you can do is come up with some sort of internal notification system so that whenever things like this do happen, they're automatically triggered in the future. And lastly, with the whole keeping your customers happy, if that's the third part of your responsibility as a customer support representative, you can come up with different initiatives to keep consumers satisfied on an ongoing basis. For example, you could do promotions, you could do seasonal offers, you could do customer surveys and focus groups to kind of figure out what's going on inside of their head, basically summarizing these findings and then forwarding them along. So by simply figuring out how your role fits into the organization, all of a sudden you can see that we've transformed a customer support role in which you just answer 40 to 50 tickets a day into something much more and much more valuable. And by thinking like a business owner like this in this sort of capacity, you're basically bringing a lot of value to your company and your organization. And when you bring a lot of value to your company and organization, what you're going to find is that value will hopefully be translated into more rewards for you in the future. Now, I have one real world example where owner's mindset could have helped me out tremendously back in 2014 to 2016 when I was working for a mobile video game company. At the time, it was my job to monetize and basically figure out how to get our players to spend more money within the game. Let's say I had to get these new players to spend about $20. I didn't really know why they had to spend $20 other than the fact that that was my goal and that was my objective. It wasn't until after I left the company that I realized that the whole reason that we wanted to get people to spend $20 was because the cost of marketing to acquire a new customer was actually $20, and that was the break-even point. Now, obviously, I didn't know this back then when I was working in the monetization job, but had I known that's how the monetization piece fit with the marketing piece, I think I could have come up with a lot more creative solutions that were outside of the box than I had available to me at the time. My point is that if I had that context while working at my old job, I probably would have done my job a lot better and figured out different types of solutions that could have helped reach that goal a lot quicker. So now that we know what is owner's mindset, let's talk about how we actually acquire owner's mindset, because it can be a little bit hard to figure out how to do so. So if you are trying to get into this mindset and you've never had it before, I do think there are a couple of good ways to actually start building this owner's mindset. The first way is to actually run a side business. One of the easiest ways to do this while still having your own job is to run a side business like renting a room out on Airbnb or selling things consistently on a website like Etsy. By doing either of these regularly, you're going to start to understand more facets of a business. In the Airbnb example, your room or the experience that you're offering is the product, your photos and description are the marketing for that product, and then your reviews are your customer feedback. The people looking to rent your room is actually the market that you're trying to appeal to. So you kind of have to ask yourself, what is it that it's going to make my room or experience stand out from the others? Is it price? Is it location? Is it the photos? I mean, what is it? These are great questions to kind of ask yourself when you're renting your own room out, or similarly on Etsy when you're trying to sell your own crafts or products. And it's going to start to give you some of that owner's mindset that might translate very well to your normal job. Another way to acquire owner's mindset is to basically go to your bosses or your manager and ask them something similar to what keeps you up at night. Now, you don't have to word it this way, but essentially what you're trying to figure out is, what are the pain points within the business that they actually care about? In our earlier example with customer support, I'm sure that the customer support manager is trying to optimize for a few different things. First, they're probably looking for a productive team. Second, they're probably looking for high-level insights across the company. And third, they're trying to figure out ways to be more efficient. If you can figure out what your bosses are really caring about or what they're trying to optimize for within the organization, you can basically reverse engineer what you have to do to help them be happy. If you can make your managers happy and look good and even be more efficient, then you yourself are going to reap those rewards as well. Now, don't go rogue within the company and start doing all these initiatives on your own without getting clearance. Make sure to always ask your boss or your manager, hey, is this going to help you out if I maybe come up with, let's say, a top 5 trends of the week email? Overall, if you're trying to improve the team or the company or the processes that you guys already have, I don't see why you would not get approval for any of those initiatives that you would want to do within the company. Another way to acquire owner's mindset is to start looking at everything in the world like a business owner. For example, the screen that you're looking at right now was created by a person. The desk that you may be sitting at was also created by a person. The roads that you drove on this morning were also created by a person. So once you understand that everything in the world was most likely designed and created by a person, you'll realize that the world isn't so mysterious after all. Almost everything man-made was designed by a person, and every company was also started by a person as well. And a company is just a group of people working together to try to deliver a product or service that's going to make the world better. By knowing that a lot of things were actually made by other people, what that really helps me understand at least is that a human being can have a lot more of an impact than they actually think that they can. If you don't work for a company, thinking like an owner will actually improve your skills of an entrepreneur or being self-employed as well. So whether or not you work for a large company, a small company, maybe you work for your family, I think having an owner's mentality is going to benefit you no matter what. Anyways, guys, I hope that this video was helpful. I know it's a little bit of a departure from my normal type of personal finance and investing content, but I felt like it was important to make, especially after I was getting so many DMs from you guys wondering how to get ahead at work. As always, let me know in the comments if you found this type of video helpful. If you did find this type of video helpful, I'm going to make more of this in the future for you guys. As always, if you'd like to see more from me, make sure to click that like button on this video. It helps with the engagement of the video, and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any other videos from me in the future. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. My username there is Humphrey Talks. So if you're ever just bored scrolling the gram, you can come there and find me at any time that you'd like. Also, if you'd like some free stuff stocks from Webull, all you have to do is deposit $100 when you open an account with them and use the link in my description below. So be sure to check that out. Lastly, thank you to all my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate you guys supporting me along the way. And I will be here a little bit more often these days. I'm gonna try to be making more YouTube videos on the regular. So I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks for being here today. Peace.